All right, time is 7 o'clock. So, very good evening, one and all present for today, starting from today. On behalf of MTC Global family, I extend a hearty welcome to all of you. And there are many participants, those who have been joining our programs. Okay, and what I could make it. Okay, last so many programs, and I especially welcome them to join this particular session. And we have with us Dr. Shalini Agarwal, ma'am, who is an alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad and presently serving as a professor of finance in prestigious Chandigarh University, Punjab. Ma'am, thank you so much once again for sparing your valuable time and being with us for today and tomorrow. I won't take much time. I request ma'am to kindly please take over. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. So, a very good evening to one and all present here. So let's start with the today's lecture. Okay, so let me share my screen with all of you. I think somebody's mic is on. Please, can you switch it off?
Yes.
Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to all of you. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
And my voice is also clear. Okay, so let's start with it. So today the topic is how to write a good research paper. What are the different steps when we are writing a paper? Okay. So before proceeding with this, let me tell you the types of paper. There is different type of papers. One is when you are writing a qualitative study, quantitative study. So, so it is basically these are the two things, right? And there is another form as well, SLR paper or bibliometric analysis. So if we have to write a paper, so these are the different ways through which you can write a paper, right? So we'll not be talking about this today. We'll not be talking about this as well. We will be talking about quantitative study papers today. So this is the main area of study that we will be talking about. Quantitative study. And quantitative study, if you're doing, so it again has two types: primary study and secondary data, right? So let me repeat this again. So the today's topic is what? How to write a good research paper. So what are the different steps when we are writing the paper? Before doing this, we should know the types of the studies. The types of the studies can be qualitative study. Qualitative study is basically on the basis of the interview based, right? Interview based, where we quote the interviews of the people taken. So this is one way of doing the research, that is a qualitative study. SLR or bibliometric analysis is another way of writing a research paper. That is, if you want, I can show you as well. Let me show you an example of a qualitative study first. And before proceeding ahead, let me show you the paper as well. This is a research paper by Ernesto Nornen, that is a professor from IIM Ahmedabad. And he has worked on this topic, doing dignity work, Indian security guard, interface with precariousness. So he has done this study on the basis of qualitative study. So let me show you how do we do the qualitative study. Look at this. I'll show you the main difference between the qualitative and quantitative. Look, this is the findings. Okay. Now you can see here. Okay, yeah, this one. Look at this. So in this case, in this paper, what the professor has done is he has taken the interviews from the people and he has given the quotes like this. Just read this. I want each one of you to read it. Everybody can see it. I've increased the font size as well. Are you able to see this?
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
So what you can see here, it is talking about, what you can see here is your this, they have taken the interview of this person, ATM guard, who is 38 years, and he has written whatever he has taught, he has talked about. So similarly, here, when we are talking about the qualitative study, right? Qualitative study may you have to give the quotes of the people that you have taken. So this is another quote. I could not sleep during the daytime as the room provided to us by the company had no fan and it was too hot during the summer, due to which I would not doze off in the night on duty. This is another quote by the ATM guard, 29 years. So this is a qualitative study, right? This is an example of a qualitative study. Let me show you another example. The last example onto this. Just look at this. This is another quote. Look at this. When I came to join this job from my village, I had just rupees 5,000 with me. So this is another interview of ATM guard who is 29 years old. So when we are talking about the qualitative study, so you have to write down the quotes of the people that is important in your study. Is it clear? ये सबको समझ आ रहा है? Are you able to understand this? Please raise
Yes,
your
ma'am.
hand.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Clear.
ma'am. Yes.
Clear.
This kind of study is called as the qualitative study, right? This kind of study is called as the qualitative study. What I said is it is interview based and where we quote the interview of the people there. So this is one aspect of it. Uske basis pe we make the tables and all that. So this is a qualitative study. Next is SLR or bibliometric. SLR and bibliometric, I have already taken those things. Usme we normally either use, when we are talking about bibliometric SLR paper especially, I have written so many SLR papers. SLR paper may normally we do the ADO model or TCCM framework. So this is what we normally do and make this ADO model and TCCM framework. If you add, so there are more chances that your paper will get accepted easily. So this is what is to be done. Like, let me show you. If you want, I can show you the paper as well. Let me check if it is. Yes, I think this is the paper. Let me show you. Yeah, this is the paper. Let me show you the main thing. Isme there is this figures. Okay, so I'll show you what is this is an ADO model. This paper is based on the impact investing. This paper is based on impact investing, and till now, what are the factors that drives the people to invest into the impact investing? So we have made a model out of the previous studies. So this is your SLR paper with ADO model. This is our SLR paper, systematic literature paper with ADO model, right? Isme there are many factors as well, social factors and other factors. So like this, right? So this is how we write. This is the main aspect. This is the main outcome when you are writing a SLR paper. This is what I will always suggest. I have already taken the workshop onto this, and if you want, I can take another workshop onto this as well. Anyways, so let's proceed ahead. This is our SLR. This is how we write the SLR model. Next comes the bibliometric analysis. Bibliometric analysis may we make most of the times the diagrams we make, right? And a software does that work for us. So if you want, I can show you the this thing paper as well onto the bibliometric analysis. Just give me a minute. This is a bibliometric paper. So let me show you. There are more of the tables and figures into the bibliometric analysis, and this is all done by the software. We don't have to work hard onto this. Just let me show you. Look at these diagrams. Ye tables, more of tables and more of the figures. Look at this. This is a bibliometric paper. And these beautiful diagrams, they are made by the software itself. We don't have to work hard onto this when we are doing the bibliometric. Huh. Important thing, when you are going for your PhD, right? And the first easiest paper that you want to do is that you can go for a bibliometric analysis. The most easiest paper and the most less time consuming. It will not take much time. So if you do a paper on a bibliometric analysis, it will not take much time because the software does most of the things for you, right? So all these diagrams, can you see all these diagrams? So this is an example of a bibliometric analysis. Anybody is asking some question? Any question?
Madam, which software you are using for that?
आप वॉस्फियर भी यूज कर सकते हो, बिब्लियो शाइनी भी यूज कर सकते हो. सो दीज आर द टू सॉफ्टवेयर दैट आई नो. और भी सॉफ्टवेयर हैं, बट दीज आर द टू सॉफ्टवेयर दैट यू कैन यूज फॉर दिस. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yeah. So, this is the most easiest things to do. So, and बहुत जल्दी लिखा जाता है, very less time consuming, right? So now let's talk about the quantitative study, right? Now it is also consisting of two types, that is a primary data study and secondary data study. Secondary
Ma'am,
data study may, yes.
ma'am, I'm Bituman Bora from Assam University. I had a question regarding bibliometric analysis.
Yeah.
Whether review of literature portion is required in bibliometric analysis paper?
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Thank you.
In bibliometric analysis, you can see because you are doing just look at this. Na? What are the different headings? Authors, the most important authors, the it is not, no, no, even in SLR, you don't go for the the review of literature. Please understand this thing. These two parts, uska format, the format is entirely different. When you are talking about SLR and bibliometric analysis, the format is totally different from the quantitative study that we will be talking about today. For the SLR and bibliometric, there is no review of literature. You have to understand. उसके अंदर क्या होता है? The introduction. If you talk about, I can tell you the different sections as well if you want me to tell. When we are talking about bibliometric or the SLR, so what are the different section methodology? These sections has to be elaborated. In this, when we are writing a bibliometric or SLR, so these sections has to be an elaborated sections like this. Let me show you this. Look at this. Can you see to this? This is even you
Yes, ma'am.
can go for a Prisma framework as well in the methodology part. Methodology part may you can go for a Prisma model, right? All these things will come, and uske baad data analysis. This is the most important part. So in both the cases, SLR and bibliometric, so this is the pattern that you follow. Even this paper, I can show you a paper of my student. This is the paper of my student. I can show you the different sections. This is the ADU model that we have used in SLR paper. So this is an introduction. First come the introduction, the research gap, research methodology. Look at this. Second part is, if you're writing this, the second part is the research methodology. And research methodology may you have to have a different tables. That is very, very important. Just look at this. Let me show you the figures and the tables onto this. Look at this. This is ये bibliometric का sorry SLR का paper है. इसमें this is a different, this is a Prisma model. This is a methodology part. उसके बाद next part consists of ये सारा नहीं, ये paper नहीं था. Yeah. So the third important aspect is इसमें analysis, data analysis and interpretation. So data analysis may the topics like year of publication. So I can show you this in the tables. ये है like this. ये आप past study के basis पे you collect these kind of data, right? So what is included? Let me go back to this SLR and bibliometric analysis when you are doing. So what are the different steps of writing a paper? First is the introduction. Introduction may you must write the research gap. This is very, very important. And in this as well, you have to write the research questions. You have to write the research question. This is your introduction part. Then come the methodology part, that is consisted of Prisma model. Then comes the data analysis. Data analysis may what you can do is you can go for the ADO model. You can go for the PCCM framework, right? And then you can go for the discussion part, and then implications of the study. Implications of the study. Implications of the study may you can go for the practical implications. You can go for the practical implications or theoretical implication. Right? So this is how you have to write. Last may you can go for the conclusion. So this is the different segments, or this is the different parts when you are writing the bibliometric or SLR. So introduction may when you are writing the introduction, research gap and research questions. Methodology may which methodology you are going to use. What is your exclusion and inclusion criteria? Because isme you have to when you're talking about SLR or bibliometric, so you have to use some database. I hope you know that when you are using a database, so you have to get minimum 40 papers, 41 papers to do the analysis. ये बिल्कुल entirely it is a different concept altogether. When you're talking about these two kind of things, so it is a different concept altogether. right? So you have to get papers from some of the database, either Scopus or Web of Science. So on paper ka you do the analysis, and this is the steps that you follow when you are writing a paper related to SLR and bibliometric analysis. So these are the different steps. I hope it is clear. Is it clear? Hanji Jitendra ji, you have raised your hand.
But just one question, in the bibliographic point. So basically, what you're saying is the introduction and the research gap and the questions are there, but thereafter, whatever you have studied, say for example, you have shortlisted 50 papers. So all the
Mhm.
crux of those papers will come in form of diagrams, so that it gives
Yes, like this.
the reader
Like
very
this.
good clarity.
Yes.
कि कितने कितने
Yeah.
सालों में which that's what I understood. That's a good way of
Yes,
representing it.
yes. Yes, like this.
I like it. Thanks for this.
And this is the ADO model that you can make. This is for SLR paper. Yeah, out of the studies, which are the important factors that is impacting the investor to go for impact investing? What are the decisions they are taking? Why they are going for financial factor? What is the reasons for that? High financial return, value generation ability, and what is the outcome? Satisfactory financial results, increase in value of investment, like this. Have you understood why the people are investing into impact investing? Social factors, by looking at the people. So creation of social value, this is the decision. And what is the benefit of it? Social benefit for the society, increase in the goodwill of the investor. So this model we have designed based on the previous studies. So this is very, very important when we are talking about the SLR or sorry, SLR. SLR mein this is important, this part. This part is important for SLR, and for bibliometric only the diagram is required. Like I have shown you this very good say diagrams that is required into the this thing, like this, and the software that does for you. I hope it is clear to all. Please raise your hand if it is clear.
Clear, madam.
हाँ जी सुनीता जी बताइए. You want to ask something?
Ma'am, please repeat software name.
For this, BiblioShiny. Let me
Okay.
write it here. BiblioShiny or Vosphere. BiblioShiny and Vosphere. और
Madam,
भी है
wash fever is used for to research.
bibliometric analysis. हाँ जी.
Uh, wash fever can for finding the
Vosphere क्या?
wash fever कर सकते हैं research gap find.
आपकी आवाज कट रही है सर.
रिसर्च गैप फाइंड आउट करने के लिए वॉश फीवर यूज कर सकते हैं ना.
Vosphere sir to make the diagrams.
ओके ओके.
Vosphere is used to make the diagrams. Like I have shown you na this paper, ye like this. So that software helps you to make the diagrams like this. Understood, sir?
यस मैम.
Yeah. And bibliometric is the most easiest way of writing the paper, right? And the first paper you can, if you have shortage of time, and if your college is asking you to give you one paper, so the most easiest thing is to do is to write a bibliometric analysis. So let's move ahead. Now, the most important thing is the quantitative study, right? So till now, what we have seen is we have seen qualitative study. I have just told you what exactly is a qualitative study. We have not gone in depth into this, but I'm trying to tell you the difference between the qualitative and quantitative, right? So qualitative may you take interviews and you quote those interviews of the people. This is one thing that you do in qualitative study. SLR may you go for ADU and TCCM framework. In bibliometric analysis, you make more of the diagrams. So this is what is there in the these things. So today topic, now let's move to the this thing, quantitative study, right? तो उसमें B, you collect the information or the data through two sources, that is a primary data source and the secondary data studies. Right. So secondary data studies, like let me give you an example onto this. You take the stock market indices data on daily basis and you do the analysis. This is a secondary based data. When we are talking about secondary data study, right? Secondary data study is the data that has already been published and you are using it to make an analysis. That is your secondary data. Uh, like I am a finance professor, so I do the finance. I work on to this stock market indices. So stock market ke data daily basis, and then we do the analysis. That is called as a secondary data study.
Comparative study, no? Comparative study.
कैसे comparative study मतलब?
सेकेंडरी डेटा का मतलब कंपैरेटिव स्टडी है ना, जो
Secondary
ऑलरेडी
data तो already existing data
ऑलरेडी
है.
डेटा एंड वी आर
Yes.
कंपेयरिंग.
So like जैसे if I say uh, Nifty historical data, if I write, I'm just giving you an example of that. How do we do that? You can see from here, there is another site, Nifty 50 historical data. ये stock market का data है, historical index data. So you can see from here, this is a past data of Nifty 50 on daily basis. Can you see to this? I'm just trying to show you how to get this data, right? And you can extract this data and make use of it and write the paper. This is if you write the paper using this secondary data. So this is one example of it. So this is an example of it, stock market indices daily data, and you do the analysis. So this is one example of it, like you can get the data like this, right? This is a Nifty 50 historical data, daily data, and you can extract this data, you can download this data, and then you can do the analysis onto this, right? So this is how also you write the papers. Fine. So now let's move to the primary data. This is the most important thing that that is very very important. Primary data study hota hai when you are collecting the data, when you are collecting the data for the first time, right? And and then making an analysis. That is called as a primary data study. So now today we will be talking more about this quantitative data study based on primary data. How do we go for it, right? So be with me, right? And how to do it. Let's say the first important thing you want is to select the area. Please ध्यान से सुनते रहें. How you go for the quantitative study or any study, like सबसे पहले you have to select the area where you want to do the research, right? Let's say I want to do a research on second hand fashion. This is my topic, right? So what I will be doing is i will I will copy this and I will put it here. Do you know there is a website that is called as a Google Scholar? Are you people aware of this? Google Scholar, you just type on the Google, that is a Google Scholar. The first option that comes is the Google Scholar. You put your topic, let's say second hand fashion, right? So actually, Google Scholar, let me tell you first thing. Okay, before starting with this, let me tell you something about the databases first. Let me tell you something about the databases first. Like, there is a Scopus database. Before starting with a research study, let me tell you about something about this. This is Web of Science. This is Google Scholar. Google Scholar is a open-ended. Anybody can use it. It is free of cost, right? And you can get the information about the articles. Most of the articles information you can get through Google Scholar, right? So let me take you to the Google Scholar one by one. Let's do it. So I told you this thing, second hand fashion, I put it here. So there are papers that has come out on second hand fashion, right? So what you have to do is, sometimes what you can do, you can get is, you can get even the PDF of the papers. The whole papers you can get, because the authors, they put their papers onto the websites, so that is why you can get the PDF files as well. So what you have to do is, this is one of the databases where you can get information about any topic that you want, and you will get n number of papers. Can you see all the papers on this site consisted of second hand fashion? This is one of the database जहाँ पे you can get the information about the different papers. Next is the Scopus database. Scopus database is what? Okay, scopus.com. This is paid, but this is a very, very powerful tool. Scopus database. Let me sign into my account. Okay. So it is actually paid, and because our college has subscribed to it, so I can open it, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is, whenever you are doing a research, you have to select the topic where you want to do the research. Let's say second-hand fashion, right? So you should know how to get the papers on second-hand fashion that people had already done. This is your first task. So how do you get the papers? There are different databases. Databases, what is that? Like Scopus database, it means it consists of different papers, it consists of different journals. Different journals, different journals has sub indexed in it, right? And let's say, let me give you an example. Let's say there is a journal that is called as International Journal of Law and Management. This is a emerald journal, right? So it is indexed in here. So every paper that will be there in this journal, that will be published in this journal, will be, you can see it here. So what is a Scopus database? It consists of the collection of papers. It consists of the different collection of journals, and all the papers related to that journal will be seen here, right? तो यहाँ पर सबको समझ में आ रहा है? Please raise your hands if it is clear. सबको समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
Madam,
That is also there. But I, more or less, I normally use these two kind of databases. So that is why I, or even मैं सबसे ज़्यादा use करती हूँ Google Scholar और Scopus. Web of Science भी मेरे को थोड़ा सा confusing लगता है, but I use most of the time Scopus and Google Scholar.
Excuse me, ma'am. समटाइम्स ऐसा होता है कि गूगल स्कॉलर में भी कुछ पेजेस का सिर्फ एब्स्ट्रैक्ट ही देखने को मिलता है, पूरा ओपन नहीं होता वो.
मैम उसके लिए तो ऑप्शन नहीं है कॉलेज की. आप किसी से हेल्प ले सकते हो, या एक पायरेटेड साइट है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज साइट. बट somebody has switched on the ये माइक, प्लीज स्विच इट ऑफ. ओके, साई हब करके एक होता है, उसके अंदर भी कुछ आर्टिकल्स यू कैन ऑलवेज गेट. Sci Hub, if you, this is a pirated site. So if you put the DOI of the paper, so you can get some of the papers out here as well, the whole of the paper.
ओके, थैंक
So
यू
this
मैम.
is another way. Yes. नहीं मिलते
Excuse
हैं
me,
तो
ma'am.
there is no.
Another one is there, madam. Typeset.io. You can get that.
आप मैसेज में टाइप करके लिखेंगे, 1 मिनट. Okay. Okay, so what I was talking about next is the second hand fashion, right? So I was talking about second hand fashion. I clicked onto this, Hannah. So you can see there are 22 documents you have found, second hand fashion. So so what I was trying to tell you was, let me tell you, let's go back to this again and then. So I hope you have understood this Scopus database. Scopus database, let me explain this again. It consists many journal, they get themselves indexed into the Scopus database. So all the papers that is published, let's say in International Journal of Law and Management, that will be there in the Scopus database. So this consists of this whole consists of different papers and different journals are there indexed into it, Scopus mein. So right, so similarly in Google Scholar. So if you want to find out papers on any topic, so you can put it here and you will get the papers onto this, right, on that particular topic. Now, so what we were talking about is a quantitative study and primary data study. So सबसे पहले what is the first thing that you have to do is select the area where you want to do the research. Let's say this is an example, second hand fashion, right? So now we know that we have to work on the second hand fashion and this is the previous work the people has already done. आप देख रहे हो? So what you have to do is you have to, in each of the paper you have to look at the models they have made, what work they have already been done. So this is the first task that you have to identify. Even there are 22 papers, so you have to see what all previous studies has already been done. Now on the basis of these previous studies you have to set your objective. So here, so your topic was second hand fashion, right? So you have to bring in something new here. Let me show you this thing, how what I'm saying is, let me show you this. This is one of my papers that is published. This is one of the papers, right? Okay, so this is the model that we have created. Can you see the model? So what we are talking about is quantitative study with respect to primary data. Quantitative study with respect to primary data, right? So, we have identified the variables, these variables, new variables, this new model, in fact, based on the past studies. So, what I'm trying to tell you is, let me show you another paper of mine. This is another paper. There is a diagram again into this. Look at this. This is again a diagram. This is a paper on impact investing. So, what I have done is, based on the previous studies, we have seen what all people have done. So, we make modifications onto the previous papers of the people and give our own model. And that is a new model. This is how you identify the newness in your topic. That is how you identify the newness in your topic, by going through the review of literature of the previous papers that you get from the different databases. I hope this point is clear. Please raise your hands if this point is clear. This is the most important part that you have to see. Right? So this is the most important part. So I'm telling you the two papers that I'm showing you, right? And based on to this, you have to define your research questions. Make your model, define research questions. Now start the paper or your thesis like this. अब हमने let me repeat this again. So what we have done is we are talking about the quantitative study, right? So we are talking in depth about this, how to write a paper using a primary data study and in which we are making some model, right? So सबसे पहले you have to select the area where you want to do the research. Let's say it's second hand fashion. So what you have to do is you have to search for the different databases, like this is a Google Scholar. So you put your topic second hand fashion and you see the different papers they come out, read those papers and see what new you can bring. Go to a Scopus website, Scopus database, look for the papers, previous papers, and on the basis of the past papers, you try to bring in something new into your paper and then start making a model like this, propose some model, and then start with your paper. So this is how you start with your research, right? So this is how you start with your research, right? So let's start ahead onto this. One minute, just give me a minute. I hope this point is clear, right? Now, let me tell you the different, this is how you select your topic and this is how you find it out. Now, the different parts of the paper, how you write a quantitative study paper based on primary data. So this is our topic basically. This is what we are doing right now and what are the different parts of it. So the first thing that you have to do is identify the research gap with review of literature or seeing the past papers. Okay? Define your objective on the basis of this. Now, once you have defined your objective, you start writing, like, let me show you this. मैं ये वाला paper. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to, once you have defined the objective, you start writing the introduction. Introduction में, let's say you are writing on second hand fashion. यही topic रखते हैं हम अपना, right? Let's say our topic is second hand fashion. So what is the content that you have to write in here? That is also very, very important, right? If you want your paper should get published into A category journal, so go like this, the way I'm telling you right now, right? So introduction may talk something about, talk something good, मतलब talk something कि second hand fashion कब start हुआ, second hand fashion, why the people prefer second hand fashion, what is the need of it, right? Talk something relevant like impact investing paper when we have written. Let me show you that. Let me show you this paper. So impact investing ka paper when we have written. Okay. Talk something about what is this topic, why this topic is relevant, the relevancy of this topic. Let's say today, impact investment. This topic, this is a paper on impact investment, right? It is practiced not only by wealthy business people, financial institution, and big industrial, but also by individual such as. Just read it. Just a minute. Let me show you more important things. Okay. Just read these few lines. Just read the whole of it. Are you able to read it? Anji, are you people able to read it? Please raise your hands.
Yes, ma'am.
Hanji.
Madam, simultaneously,
What?
simultaneous citation.
नहीं सर, ये कुछ गलत होगा कहीं पर. कहाँ पर?
नहीं, citation simultaneously करना पड़ेगा ना इसमें बुक में.
हाँ, ये तो बिल्कुल करनी पड़ेगी सर, बिल्कुल. इंटेक्स साइटेशन कह रहे हो आप?
जी हाँ.
हाँ, इंटेक्स साइटेशन तो आपको साथ के साथ करनी है, बिल्कुल. You have to put these in-text citations simultaneously, bilkul. So I hope everybody has read this. So what I'm trying to tell you, when you are writing, talk something, the facts and figures about the topic. This is one thing you can write when you are writing the introduction. The research gap, why you are, why your topic is different from others. ये सब इंट्रोडक्शन में. So we what we are talking about first is introduction. So introduction section will contain all these things. Research gap. This is also why your topic is different from others and why you are studying this topic. Or your research objective, questions if you want to put here. Right? So, and uh, different sections of the paper. This all will become a part of the introduction. अभी मैंने आपको I have shown you the about the impact investing, facts and figures about the topic, research gap, why your topic is different from others and why you are studying this topic, research objective questions that also will come here, and different sections of the paper. Let me show you what I mean to say that. Let me show you this paper. Okay, this is one of my paper, so you can see here. So just read it. Everybody please read it. Why I am telling you to read, because once when you are reading this, so you will understand the things in a better way. Right, so these are your research questions. और आप इसको you can write it in objective form as well, but यहाँ पर because we do have a very clear and specific question, so we are writing it like this, right? And this is one thing. Let me tell you one more thing about this. एक minute, I hope everybody has read this. एक minute. ओके, नहीं दिख नहीं रहा अभी. ठीक है, आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर. सो let me repeat this again. Introduction section में talk something facts and figures about the topic. Research gap, why your topic is different from others and why you are studying this topic. So these are. फिर research objective, आपने ये paper why you are writing, what is your objective for this paper, and different section of the papers means we write na like this. Let me show you this as well. एक minute, let me show you this as well. Like we say section 2, ये रहा. Look at this research objective questions. This paper is aimed at capturing the investor intention to engage in impact with the following research objective. ये introduction का part है सारा. Can you see? Research objectives. So in the introduction last में you write all this like this: to identify the most influential factor of intentions of impact investing in India. And फिर उसके बाद हम क्या लिखते हैं? The remaining part of the paper are organized as follows. Section 2 explains the review of previous literature and proposes the hypothesis. Section 3 describes the research model development and explain the construct. Section 4, research methodology. Can you see to all this? Is this point
Yes, ma'am.
clear?
Yes.
Just go through
Yes,
it.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I hope it is clear to all of you. Please raise your hands if it is clear. Okay. So I think we should move ahead. So this is all about the introduction section, right? And acha, there is इसमें है नहीं अभी. चलो, I'll tell you later on. Right now, I am not able to find this out. Next comes your next most important thing is in text citation you have to write it simultaneously, please. Just take care of this thing. Then comes the review of literature part. Now, how to write the review of literature? Acha, there is, let me tell you one more thing. Before moving ahead, if you want, if you're targeting, right, हर कोई करता ही है, to good journal, तो आपको पता है क्या करना है? So, जो in-text citations हैं, that also has to be from a good journal. मैं दोबारा से रिपीट कर रही हूँ, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है, वॉट एवर आई एम टेलिंग यू राइट नाउ. सो इफ यू आर टारगेटिंग टू अ गुड जर्नल, लेट्स से ए कैटेगरी और बी कैटेगरी, सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू, जो साइटेशंस आप कर रहे हो, इनटेक्स साइटेशंस हैज टू बी फ्रॉम अ वेरी गुड जर्नल इटसेल्फ, राइट? तो आपने क्या करना है, व्हाट यू कैन डू इज, आप जैसे लेट मी, एक मिनट, लेट मी टेल यू दिस थिंग. एक, जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट. मैं आपको एक चीज बताती हूँ. Okay, now let me tell you. This paper is on online customer experience, marketing का paper है ये. तो somebody told me, you know, these are the good journals. Look at the name of the journals. And when I was working with him, he told me he find out the number of the good journals. I think they all are A category journals. So what he told me was, he told me that you have to get the in-text citations only from these papers. Whatever citations that I'm quoting, let's say I have written some part, right? So whatever I have written, it will be taken from very good journals and in-text citations that I have put. Look at this, ye sari, all the in-text citations that I have put has to be from a good journal. This is to be taken care of very, very much. Let me tell you to this. Let's say Journal of Business Research is there, right? So how you can do that as well? Let me show you this. यहाँ पे Journal of Business Research लिखा मैंने. I've written this. Journal of Business Research लिखा मैंने यहाँ पर. I opened this, राइट? यहाँ पर आ रहा है सर्च इन दिस जर्नल. सो लेट्स से मुझे ऑनलाइन कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस के ऊपर टॉपिक पे सर्च करना है, ठीक है? तो यहाँ पर निकल के आ रहा है कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस इन ऑनलाइन प्रोडक्ट कम्युनिटी. सो व्हाट आई विल बी डूइंग इज, आई विल बी क्लिकिंग ऑन टू दिस, right? So I'll be using this in-text citation. Just look at this. This is the paper on Journal of Business Research. ये year 2011 है. कोशिश करनी है what we have to do is we have to make sure कि हमारी जो इंटेक्स साइटेशंस हैं, इंटेक्स साइटेशंस जो हैं हमारी, एक तो इंटेक्स साइटेशन हैज टू बी from good journal. This is one thing. And it has, if you're writing 5 in-text citation in one paragraph, so 3 should be latest. बाकी 2 पुरानी भी हो सकती है. Latest means now 24 is there. So 20, 2020, 21, 22 or 23 or 24. So जो 5 in text citation if you are putting, let me show you to this. This is the paper, right? Review of literature में let me show you this. Look at this. एक minute. Yeah, this is the, let's say this is one hypothesis, right? तो आप ना इसमें just look at this. Let me highlight this. This paper we completed in the year 2022, right? तो just look at this. इसमें maximum जो in-text citations है वो नहीं है. And they has to be from a very very good journal. It cannot be, अगर आपको 8 journal को target करना है तो आपको उसी के in-text citations लो तो better है, right? Can you see to this? This is also very very important aspect. Like इसमें आप देख सकते हो कार्लसन 2015 ही पुरानी आ गई है ना, लेकिन आपको अगर आप दूसरे हाइपोथेसिस में देखोगे तो इसमें सारी की सारी लेटेस्ट, मतलब लेटेस्ट है, कुछ पुरानी है और मैक्सिमम नहीं है. This is also very very important when you are writing a paper. I hope this is clear. These parts are clear to all of you. Please raise your hands if these topics or these things are clear to you. How?
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Just a small question. Like, since there are so many journals, so how, like, is there any way to find that which are the journals pertaining to our topic which could be good?
Yes, you can see from the Scopus database. Like आप एक तो जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया, जैसे आपका Scopus database scopus.com पे गए, right? So if you write one topic, right? This is second hand fashion if I have written and I click onto this, so you know there are different papers from different journals, so you can see from here, you can see the name of the journal. So you can see from here, ये these are the names of the journals. And if यही like Journal of Business Research, can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Sustainable. फिर आप इसको देख भी सकते हो ना, like you can see from ABDC की list में से, you know that ABDC
Yes,
journal
ma'am.
list, so you can go from there and you can download the ABDC list and you can see from there what is which journal is good for you, and which journal is publishing your topic paper. The Journal of Business Research, this seems to be good. Cleaner Production is publishing, so you can use these, you know that. And you can, if you want, there are different websites. That is SciMago karke, there is a website, journal ranking, so you can click on, if you have find out the journal like this from here, right? So if you want to see the category of that journal, so you can Journal of Business Research, you can type the name of the journal here. इसमें नहीं होगा ये, लेट्स से सस्टेनेबिलिटी डाल के देखते हैं, या उसको डालते हैं, एक मिनट, एनवायरमेंट डेवलपमेंट एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी. राइट, so it has come out. This is another way of seeing a journal. यहाँ से Q ranking भी पता लगती है, impact factor भी, H index पता लगता है जर्नल का. इससे होम पेज पे भी जा सकते हो जर्नल के. दिस इज अ वेरी गुड वेबसाइट. यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो. इसमें विल टॉक मोर अबाउट दिस टुमारो. यहाँ से आपको ये पता चल सकता है दिस इज अ गुड जर्नल, Q1 रैंकिंग जर्नल भी है ये आपका. ठीक है, तो आप यहाँ से भी देख सकते हो. बट what I personally believe is ये जो स्कोपस का डेटाबेस है, ये गूगल स्कॉलर में जब आपने डाला तो ये जो पेपर्स आए हैं आपके, सो यू कैन सी फ्रॉम हियर कि कौन से जर्नल्स इसको पब्लिश कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे आपका दिया हुआ है ना, मार्केटिंग एंड जर्नल ऑफ फैशन, marketing and management and international journal. So you can see the names of the journal from here, which journals are publishing, and then you have to verify each one of the name of the journal from here. either from the ABDC if you want ABDC publications. So ABDC में अगर आपको इसमें देखना है, SciMago में देखना है, Web of Science में देखना है, so Web of Science का भी simple है कि whether it belongs to a Web of Science journal or not. तो यहाँ पे Web of Science you type it here and this will come at the master journal list. So if you write the name of the paper, if you write the name of the journal here, so it will give you that. Let me show you this: environment, development and sustainability. यहाँ पर ये देख सकते हो, ये SCIE है ये जर्नल, राइट? एंड SCI है तो ये वेब ऑफ साइंस में है एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी वेरी गुड जर्नल एंड इसका right, so this is how you can see which journal is good and which journals are not good. ABDC ranking तो ये आप यहाँ से download, you can download this Excel file from here, है ना? And so this is the different way how you can find it out. I hope this is clear.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
In-text citation के बारे में I hope the things are very very clear to all of you. So this is about the in-text citations, right? So throughout the paper, this is the pattern that you have to follow. Fine. So this is about the introduction section. Next come the review of literature. So let me show you this. Okay. इसमें ना what we can do, एक minute, there is one more paper, final manuscript. Okay, now let me tell you this. Now we have made a model like this, right? So how to go for the review of literature? ये भी बहुत बहुत technical है. Don't consider it as very simple, right? तो जैसे let's say this is the model that we have taken. Now there are different variables: online customer experience, online repurchase intention, product risk, financial risk, privacy risk. So what you have to do when you are writing a paper like this, so you have to define each and every variable. Let's say online customer experience, product risk, financial risk. Let me show you this, how to write it like this. Look at this. Online customer experience, right? This is one paragraph about it. This is about the variables. You define the variables first. Can you see? Let's say another variable of mine is customer satisfaction. So what you will be doing is you will be defining that variable. Next, online purchase behavior. So all the variables is to be defined. That is the important task. Product risk. All the variables is to be defined first. फाइन. जो मॉडल आपने नीचे डिफाइन किया है उसके अंदर जितने भी वेरिएबल्स हैं वो सबसे पहले यू हैव टू डिफाइन इट. व्हाट एग्जैक्टली डज इट मीन? प्रोडक्ट रिस्क होता क्या है, राइट? एंड हु ऑल हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट इट. सो दिस इज द in-text citation. So this is how you have to write about the only the variables that has been defined in your model. Next comes the hypothesis. So my first hypothesis, let's say, is online customer experience has a positive and significant impact on online purchase. So you have to write down the studies that talked about this. You have to. सब कुछ समझ आ रहा है? Please raise your hands if you are able to understand. मैं इसलिए भी बोलती रहती हूँ ताकि so that I should know how many of you are attentive and how many of you are not.
Hypothesis is a part of review of literature.
हाँ, yes, it is a part of review of literature. Yeah. क्योंकि इसी को तो डिफाइन करो ना आप अपने मॉडल के. जो आपका मॉडल है उसी को आप डिफाइन कर रहे हो ना सारा कुछ. दिस इज योर मॉडल, राइट? कोई भी आपका मॉडल है तो आप उस मॉडल के जो वेरिएबल्स हैं, उनकी जो हाइपोथेसिस है, उनको डिफाइन कर रहे हो ना. let's say this is first, ये दोनों के बीच में relationship, so this is to be defined. So this is another hypothesis, this is to be defined. So previous studies ने क्या बोला है इन दोनों के बारे में, so this is what you have to write about it, right? And यहाँ पर like this you have to write your first hypothesis, यहाँ पर आपको ऐसे नीचे लिखना है hypothesis, here is your hypothesis, and here are the statements online customer experience and online purchase behavior. So this is your first two variables that you are trying to find out the relationship between, और नीचे you are defining your hypothesis, right? सो लेट मी टेल यू, सबसे पहले हमने क्या किया, रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर में कंस्ट्रक्ट, अभी मैं आपको एक चीज और भी बताऊंगी, वेरिएबल्स को डिफाइन करा हमने, सिर्फ जो भी हमने मॉडल के अंदर वेरिएबल्स लिए उनको डिफाइन किया, व्हाट एग्जैक्टली डू दे मीन, उनका क्या मतलब है, राइट? एंड फिर उसके बाद हमने किया हाइपोथेसिस, जो हमारे उसको डिफाइन किया हमने, हाइपोथेसिस को, हर हाइपोथेसिस को डिफाइन किया। अगर हमारा मेडिएशन और मॉडरेशन है तो हमने उसको भी, जैसे इस पेपर में हमने मेडिएशन भी लिया है, तो वी हैव, यहाँ पे हमने वर्ड डाला मेडिएशन, एंड यहाँ पर हमने डाला ऑनलाइन परचेज बिहेवियर मेडिएट्स द एसोसिएशन बिटवीन ऑनलाइन कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस एंड ऑनलाइन रीपर्चेज इंटेंशन। सो दिस इज मेडिएशन। ये सबको समझ आ रही है? ऐसे ही मॉडरेशन, तो इसको जब हम डिफाइन कर रहे हैं, यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी केयरफुल व्हेन यू आर डिफाइनिंग दिस। आई शेयर द पेपर विद यू एज वेल। कुछ अच्छे पेपर्स हैं मेरे पास जिसमें मेडिएशन और मॉडरेशन जब आप लिखते हो, दो टर्म्स में मेडिएशन मॉडरेशन को डिफाइन करते हो और वो लिखते हो, तो आई शेयर द पेपर्स ऑल्सो विद यू, कि वो अच्छे पेपर्स की हाउ टू राइट व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द मेडिएशन मॉडरेशन, राइट? So this is your review of literature. Review of literature में theoretical aspect भी लिखते हैं। एक मिनट, एक पेपर में है, let me show you that. किसी का माइक ऑन है, प्लीज कैन यू प्लीज स्विच ऑफ योर माइक? theoretical lens है ना? look at this. So इसमें भी there is a model, but आपको ये भी important aspect होता है, that is a theoretical lens. Theoretical lens में you have to talk about the theory that you think is appropriate for your paper. So talk about that as well. That is a theoretical lens, right? तो this is also an important part. सबसे पहले theoretical framework ही आना चाहिए, theoretical framework आना चाहिए, उसके बाद आपको construct को define करना चाहिए, then define the construct, then define the hypothesis. Look at this. This is another paper of mine. उसके अंदर now यहाँ से hypothesis start हो गया. This is my first hypothesis. तो what all will come? So let me tell you, when we are talking about the review of literature, so first thing that we'll be talking about is the theoretical aspect. Next is the construct definition. Next is the hypothesis framing. Next is the moderation, and next is the mediation. If it is there, whatever is there, so you have to write it like this when we are talking about the review of literature. So this is whole will be a part of the review of literature, and the model that you wanted to show will come here. The model, if you have any model, so it will come here. So this whole will be a part of your review of literature. Any doubt? This is construct or variable definition. Any doubt till here? इसमें कोई doubt? Is it clear to all?
मैडम हाइपोथेसिस को प्रूव करना पड़ेगा क्या?
वो बाद में सर, अभी सिर्फ आपने यहाँ पे डिफाइन किया, या
Okay,
यही तो पेपर है आपका। फिर ये जो मॉडल आपने बनाया, जो हाइपोथेसिस आप कर रहे हो, इसी को तो आपको वो करना है प्रूफ। यही तो ऑब्जेक्टिव आपके पेपर का। उसके अलावा तो कोई
Show
ऑब्जेक्टिव
the
ही नहीं है ना
screen
सर.
again, ma'am. Can you show the screen again? MS Word document.
Yes. This one?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
मैम
हाँ जी.
मैम एक बार
हाँ
मॉडरेशन और मीडिएशन का बता दीजिए, क्या एक्स्ट्रा इस वेरिएबल को मानेंगे?
नहीं, आपने अगर लिया है तो लाइक लेट मी शो यू वन ऑफ माय पेपर्स. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ माय पेपर्स. अगर आपके डायग्राम के अंदर आपने जब आपने मॉडल डिफाइन किया, इफ यू हैव टेकन अ मेडिएशन मॉडरेशन ओनली देन दैट रूल विल कम ना, अदरवाइज नॉट. लाइक जैसे हमने इस पेपर में, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट दिस पेपर ऑफ माइंड, सो आई हैव टेकन अ मेडिएशन एंड अ मॉडरेशन वेरिएबल्स. ये लिए
ओके
हमने मेडिएशन और मॉडरेशन. अगर नहीं लिए तो डोंट डिफाइन इट. If you have not taken it, so don't define it. Like जैसे शायद इस पेपर में नहीं लिए. This is my another paper. इसके अंदर हमने नहीं लिया. देख रहे हो आप?
ओके मैम.
तो वो जरूरी नहीं है. अगर आपने लिया है तो आप दिखाओगे, तो आप डिफाइन करोगे. नहीं है तो नहीं करोगे. ठीक है? ये
ओके मैम.
एक्सेप्शनल है. This is exceptional. This is also exceptional. If you have taken into your paper, then it will be there. Otherwise, nahi. I hope it is clear, and the model will come here. Right? So let's move ahead to the research methodology part. This is the third section of the paper. Right? Okay, so यहाँ पर ना, like we have taken these variables, right? So let me show you in fact. Look like this. Okay. So जो मॉडल था हमने अभी ऊपर दिखाया मैंने आपको. तो we are talking about the methodology part now, right? तो आपने जो ये variables you have to take, you have to mention which study has talked about these variables. Let me give you an example onto this. Let's say there is an effective commitment. आपको एक ना scale development का भी papers होते हैं. Scale. Let me show you that. Okay. जैसे ना, एक मिनट. ये होगा. आई होप आपको सबको क्लैरिटी आ रही होगी कि हमें पेपर कैसे लिखना है एग्जैक्टली. इफ यू वांट टू टारगेट सम गुड जर्नल, सो आई थिंक यू आर नोइंग हाउ टू गो फॉर अ गुड, हाउ टू राइट अ गुड पेपर, रिसर्च पेपर. आई होप सबको बहुत क्लैरिटी आई होगी आज. आ रही है क्लैरिटी?
जी मैम.
चलो, दैट्स वेरी गुड, ग्रेट. If you are getting a clarity about it, right? Okay, so एक मिनट, let me see. ये पेपर होगा. एक पेपर होता है. हाँ, ये देखो, ये रहा. ये ना स्केल डेवलपमेंट पेपर्स भी होते हैं. देयर आर पेपर्स ऑन स्केल डेवलपमेंट. स्केल डेवलपमेंट का क्या मतलब है? लिकर्ट स्केल, आई होप एवरीबडी नोज. लिकर्ट स्केल, उसमें क्या होता है? जैसे जैसे आप वेट को मेजर करते हो, वेट को मेजर करने के लिए आपके पास मशीन होती है, वेइंग मशीन. अगर आप टेम्परेचर मेजर करना है, आपके पास क्या होता है? थर्मामीटर, है ना? अगर आपको ह्यूमंस की फीलिंग्स को मेजर करना है, तो आपके पास क्या होता है? नॉर्मली लिकर्ट स्केल. लिकर्ट स्केल क्या होता है? लाइक 5 पॉइंट स्केल. ठीक है, तो हम अगर कहते हैं Do you like, if I ask you a question, do you like Honda cars? Right? This is a very simple question I'm asking. Not very much, not much, okay, good, very good. तो ये एक स्केल हो गया कि आपने ये बताना है, मैंने आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछा, डू यू लाइक होंडा कार्स, नॉट वेरी मच, नॉट मच, ओके, गुड, वेरी गुड, राइट? तो जब ये जो स्केल होता है, ये भी स्किल डेवलपमेंट का एक पेपर होता है। जैसे अफेक्टिव कमिटमेंट एक वेरिएबल है, जैसे अफेक्टिव कमिटमेंट, दिस इज यूज्ड इन जॉब्स। जब आप जॉब करते हो तो कितना एक एम्प्लॉय कमिटेड है टुवर्ड्स देयर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, तो इसके ऊपर ना कुछ स्केल्स बने हुए हैं ऑलरेडी। जैसे ये इसमें पूछा जाता है, आई वुड बी वेरी हैप्पी टू स्पेंड द रेस्ट ऑफ माई करियर इन दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। ये स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, ये एक स्केल है। अगर आप, जैसे मैं ये कहती हूँ कि अगर आपने ये वेरिएबल उठाया है, आपने लेट्स से आपने ये वेरिएबल उठाया ऑनलाइन कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस, है ना? मेरे को 1 मिनट दो, दिस कॉल इज इंपॉर्टेंट, लेट मी टेक दिस कॉल। जैसे ये स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, है ना? सो आई वाज टेलिंग यू, जैसे ये हमने वेरिएबल लिया ऑनलाइन कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस, इसके ऊपर ऑलरेडी किसी ने स्केल डेवलपमेंट किया होगा। लाइक जैसे यहाँ पर मैंने दिया ये कि ये जो मैंने ये वेरिएबल लिया ऑनलाइन कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस, उसकी ये स्टेटमेंट्स किसी ने ली थी, एक पेपर डेवलप किया था, और वो कौन सा बंदा था? चेन एंड यांग एट ऑल, भट्टाचार्य। इन लोगों ने इस एक पर्टिकुलर वेरिएबल पे काम किया हुआ है ऑलरेडी, जिसकी ये स्टेटमेंट्स हैं। द वेबसाइट ऐप इंटरफेस इज इजी टू यूज, ये स्टेटमेंट्स थी, इसके ऊपर वेरिएबल पे काम किया। नेक्स्ट वेरिएबल, तो जब आप मेथोडोलॉजी, रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी लिखते हो, तो जो आपने वेरिएबल्स उठाए हैं, आप उनको डिफाइन करते हो कि आपने कहाँ से, कौन से वाले बंदे ने जो पेपर, इसके ऊपर पेपर डेवलप किया वेरिएबल पे, वो किस बंदे का उठाया है। दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग द रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पार्ट। ये समझ में आई ये चीज? हाँ जी, इज दिस पॉइंट क्लियर टू ऑल? दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट। इज दिस पॉइंट क्लियर टू यू? प्लीज रेज योर हैंड।
रिपीट मैम।
ओके, तो मैंने ये बोला अभी कि जैसे हमने ये वेरिएबल्स लिए, एक मॉडल बनाया हमने अपना, ठीक है? हमने इसमें वेरिएबल्स लिए ये सारे। तो इस वेरिएबल को, क्योंकि आप प्राइमरी डेटा स्टडी कर रहे हो ये, तो आप प्राइमरी डेटा स्टडी करोगे तो आप लोगों के पास एक स्टेटमेंट्स को भेजोगे ना, सर्वे कंडक्ट करोगे, तो क्या स्टेटमेंट्स होंगी जो आप लोगों के पास भेजोगे? तो जो ऑलरेडी किसी ने इसके ऊपर ऑलरेडी इस वेरिएबल पे काम किया, उस वो वाली स्टेटमेंट्स को आप उठाते हो। ये देखो, तो आप जब अपना क्वेश्चनर बनाओगे, तो क्वेश्चनर में ये वाली स्टेटमेंट्स भेजोगे आप। ये आपका क्वेश्चनर वेरिएबल पे ऑलरेडी रिसर्च हो चुकी है, इस बंदे ने रिसर्च करी है, और ये आपका क्वेश्चनर है। बेसिक डेमोग्राफिक प्रोफाइल तो आप पूछोगे ही बंदे से। जब आप पूछोगे, जब आप क्वेश्चनर डिजाइन करते हो, क्वेश्चनर जब आप डिजाइन करते हो, तो उसके अंदर एज, जेंडर, है ना, इनकम,
जी
ये तो
मैम।
बेसिक डेमोग्राफिक प्रोफाइल है। उसके बाद जो क्वेश्चंस पूछोगे, वो क्वेश्चंस क्या होंगे? वो क्वेश्चंस ये वाले क्वेश्चंस होंगे। दीज आर द क्वेश्चंस। ये क्वेश्चनर आप सेंड करोगे बंदे को, और इसके बेसिस पे आप रिसर्च करोगे। ये आपका, दिस इज योर क्वेश्चनर। आर यू गेटिंग मी एट दिस? और ये आपको मेंशन करना होता है रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पार्ट में, कि आपने ये जो वेरिएबल उठाया कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन, उसकी क्या स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, और ये किसने इसके ऊपर ऑलरेडी काम किया है, जिसकी स्टेटमेंट्स आप इसमें से उठा रहे हो। ये, दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ द रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पार्ट। आई होप दिस पॉइंट इज क्लियर। प्लीज रेज योर हैंड इफ इट इज क्लियर।
मैम बट जो न्यू स्टेटमेंट की जरूरत पड़ती है बनाते हैं यानी कि हमने कुछ पहले के ले लिए और कुछ अपने ऐड कर
नहीं
रहे
नहीं
हैं।
नहीं 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 नहीं, वो पेपर एक्सेप्ट नहीं होता मैडम। मैं मम्मी, हेलो, नहीं नहीं, आपको पुराने ही स्किल्स उठाने हैं। नहीं, आप अपने आप से स्किल डेवलपमेंट नहीं करोगे। स्किल डेवलपमेंट का पेपर अलग होता है। लाइक ये मैं आपको स्किल डेवलपमेंट का पेपर दिखा रही थी। ये एलन एंड मेयर है कोई पर्सन, उन्होंने अफेक्टिव कमिटमेंट पे एक स्केल दिया है। तो आप जब भी अफेक्टिव कमिटमेंट उठाते हो तो नॉर्मली आप इसका स्केल उठाते हो, ये स्टेटमेंट्स उठाते हो।
ओके मैम।
हाँ, दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग योर रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पार्ट। डोंट राइट बाय योरसेल्फ, राइट ओनली द वैलिडेटेड स्केल्स। तभी आपका जो पेपर है वो अच्छा माना जाएगा। आई होप दिस पॉइंट इज क्लियर।
मैम अगर वो क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी पूछे गए हैं तो क्या हम वही क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं दोबारा या फिर ये
आपका,
अलग?
हाँ, नहीं 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 नहीं, आप क्वेश्चंस तो वही पूछोगे, लेकिन आपका मॉडल फर्क हो गया ना सर। आपने ये जो वेरिएबल्स की ये जो ये बनाया है ये सारा, ये तो आपका अपना है ना। क्वेश्चंस
हाँ।
वही है, लेकिन आपकी वेरिएबल्स की सेटिंग एक दूसरे के साथ वो नहीं है ना, न्यू है वो। आप किस में रिलेशनशिप देख रहे हो? ऑनलाइन कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस और कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन। आप और आपका जो लोग है, डिफरेंट सेट ऑफ पीपल है जिनको आप क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हो, वो भी अलग है। और आप जिसमें हाइपोथेसिस निकालने की कोशिश कर रहे हो वो आज तक किसी ने नहीं किया है। इसलिए यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन दोस टू कंस्ट्रक्ट। लोगों ने इस वेरिएबल का स्केल डेवलप किया है, बस वो ये बोल रहा है।
लेकिन फाइंड आउट कैसे करें कि ये क्वेश्चन दोबारा पूछे गए नहीं है पहले वाला?
सर ये आप वही तो आपको रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर बताया तो था मैंने, जो आप स्कोपस डेटाबेस से, जैसे आप सेकंड हैंड फैशन वो देखते हो, वो सारा वहीं से पता लगेगा ना आपको। इज इट क्लियर? हाँ, तो यहाँ पर आपने और रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पार्ट में आप क्या लिखोगे? आप ये दिस इज वन ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट व्हाट वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट राइट नाउ। ये तो क्वेश्चन का बताया ना मैंने आपको, एक मिनट लेट मी। ओके, तो रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी पार्ट में स्केल डिफाइन करना है आपको, कौन सा लिया आपने, राइट। टाइम पीरियड भी कर सकते हो। सैंपल में जो लोग हैं वो कौन से हैं, आपने किनका किया है। लेट्स से somebody says when MBA students they do the research, let's say from Chandigarh University, they say we are doing a research in Tri-City, and Tri-City में भी young generation। तो ये सब चीजें आपको मेंशन करनी होती है रिसर्च मेथोडोलॉजी, along with the software that you will be using। normally आजकल जो सॉफ्टवेयर यूज होता है that is a PLSM। So this is the software that is being used to analyze the data, right? And so you have to mention about this as well in your paper। So let me show you this। ये participant profile है, यहाँ पे construct और variables ये मैंने अभी आपको दिखाई दी है। यहाँ पे सॉफ्टवेयर भी आपको डिफाइन करना पड़ता है। लेट मी शो यू अनदर पेपर ऑफ माइन। Questionnaire and data collection. Look at this again. Data collection.
मैडम SPSS यूज कर
Tools
सकते
used। हाँ, आप सर SPSS भी कर सकते हो, अनोवा भी,
हैं?
सॉरी,
रिग्रेशन।
हाँ हाँ, सब कर सकते हो, कुछ भी कर सकते हो। वो आप अपने अपने मॉडल के अकॉर्डिंग आपको देखना है ना कि आपको क्या यूज होएगा सर। तो जो भी है आपको इसके बारे में थोड़ा थोड़ा यहाँ पर भी देना है। जैसे यहाँ पर भी PLSM यूज किया, सेम यूज किया है, देख रहे हो, एमोस के थ्रू किया है इसमें। तो इसने यहाँ पे टूल्स यूज्ड विल बी अनदर हेडिंग्स। तो सॉफ्टवेयर में PLSM, मतलब these are the things that you have to define in the research methodology part। let me repeat this। scale जो आपने लिए हैं उनको, फिर टाइम पीरियड ऑफ द स्टडी, सैंपल पीपल, सैंपल कहाँ से की है, सैंपल ट्राई सिटी, यंग जनरेशन, सॉफ्टवेयर कौन सा यूज किया है। सो ऑल दीज हैज टू बी मेंशन इनटू योर research methodology part.
मैडम मिनिमम कितना सैम
सर अगर इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट है
सेकेंडरी डेटा में?
सेकेंडरी डेटा का बिल्कुल डिफरेंट होता है सर। वो आप किस तरह ऑफ द स्टॉक मार्केट इंडिसेस आप डेली डेटा ले रहे हो, तो आप 10 इयर्स का डेटा ले रहे हो, 20 इयर्स का डेटा ले रहे हो, आप वो उस तरह से उठाते हो ना, सेकेंडरी डाटा उठाते हो। यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हियर द प्राइमरी डेटा सर।
ओके
So there is no comparison between the two, in fact, right? Next, the most important part is the data analysis and interpretation. ये आपको देखना होगा। दिस इज अकॉर्डिंग टू द सॉफ्टवेयर, जो भी आपके रिजल्ट्स आते हैं आप उसके बेसिस पे ये करते हो। इसमें तो जो भी रहता है आपका, जो भी आपका मॉडल होता है, ये उसके बेसिस पे होता है। दैट इज व्हाट इट हैज टू बी देयर, राइट? नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट जो पार्ट आता है उसके बाद, दैट कम्स द डिस्कशन। डिस्कशन, implications, conclusion, right? हो गया 1.5 घंटा, है ना? So it has been a long time that we have been together. So
Yeah.
anyways, so I hope so can we put, let me take the questions। बाकी ये जो पार्ट रह गया वो मैं कल करा दूंगी, right? And
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
indexing and all that, I think I can take up the questions if you want.
Can we continue it tomorrow, ma'am?
Yes, this is what I'm saying. But I'm asking if you have any questions or queries that I can take up right now.
मैडम कभी कभी टॉपिक सेलेक्ट करने में मुश्किलें आते हैं, तो उसके लिए क्या कर सकते हैं हम?
सर अभी मैंने आपको बताया था ना, टॉपिक सेलेक्ट, टॉपिक आप लेटेस्ट लीजिए और आप ये डिस्कस करिए विद योर फ्रेंड्स एंड जो आपका इंटरेस्ट एरिया है। सो दैट इज द बेस्ट वे टू सेलेक्ट द टॉपिक। आपका इंटरेस्ट एरिया, दैट विल मेक अ डिफरेंस सर। उसी पे आप सर्च करिए और फिर वो डेटाबेसेस में मैंने जो आपको बताया ना सर्च करने के लिए, उसमें सर्च करिए आप।
और साइटेशन साथ में करने के लिए कोई सॉफ्टवेयर है क्या मैडम? इजी
हाँ, वो मेंडले वगैरह और ज़ोटैरो वगैरह तो कर ही सकते हो ना आप यूज़। बट हाँ, वो भी कर सकते हो। मैं तो खैर इंटेक्स साइटेशन खुद ही डालती हूँ। ये बेस्ट लगता है। आई डोंट नो, दिस इज हाउ आई डू नॉर्मली।
यूजुअली
दिस इज द बेस्ट थिंग। एपी स्टाइल, एमएलए, शिकागो, जो भी आपको चाहिए आप वो कर सकते हो इसमें से, राइट? एनीथिंग एल्स?
मैम
हाँ जी,
मैम मैं आई एम द बिगिनर इन दिस फील्ड, so ma'am can you show us how to make the model?
वही
Small
आपको मैंने
example.
बताया ना मैम कि जैसे आप लेट्स से आप टॉपिक डिसाइड करो पहले। जैसे लेट्स से आपने सेकंड हैंड फैशन किया, तो फिर गूगल स्कॉलर पे से पेपर्स निकालो, पेपर्स को रीड करो, देखो क्या मॉडल्स हैं, क्या वेरिएबल्स लिए हैं। फिर स्कोपस डेटाबेस से पेपर्स निकालो, फिर उसके बेसिस पे, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दोज वेरिएबल्स, आप उनको कंबाइन करके अपना एक मॉडल तैयार कर दो। उस तरह से दैट इज हाउ यू हैव टू स्टार्ट।
Ma'am, just one question, not regarding a good research paper, but regarding a journal. Like many a times, I have noticed कि journal का impact factor बहुत अच्छा है and everything is good, but वो peer reviewed और जो हमारे वो होते हैं, so are they good journals? Maybe
नहीं
वो
समझी मैं।
scopus like maybe वो scopus में index नहीं है, but still on their
हाँ
homepage
हाँ,
वो show
यस यस
करते हैं कि
यस।
impact factor is let's say
हाँ
7.8 or
तो हाँ, वो
8.2.
वेब ऑफ साइंस का होता है ना, दैट इज वेब ऑफ साइंस। यस, इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर है तो वेब ऑफ साइंस होगा ना वो।
तो मैम पीयर रिव्यू
वो
और रेफरीड पेपर में डिफरेंस क्या होता है?
पीयर रिव्यू और रेफरीड?
जर्नल मतलब जो पीयर रिव्यू जर्नल होते हैं और रेफरीड जर्नल होते हैं, आर दे वन एंड द सेम थिंग या फिर देयर इज सम डिफरेंस?
पीयर रिव्यूड जर्नल्स हाँ एक सेम होते हैं।
सेम होते हैं।
हाँ
ओके, थैंक यू।
हाँ, दैट इज वन एंड द सेम थिंग। पीयर रिव्यूड और रेफरीड जर्नल, they have an editorial board of subject experts who review and evaluate submitted articles before accepting them. That is one and the same thing, yes.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू।
Anything else? So I hope you enjoyed the session today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo, nice.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the session.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. So, Acha, sir is there.
No, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. I think that
Okay.
you are not keeping well. From your voice, I can make out. You might have,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you might have
I'm
got
not
cold.
very well because it's very cold out
Yes,
here, na,
yes,
sir.
yes, ma'am. We
In
can make out.
Haryana, it is very cold.
Correct. Thank
So
you so
that
much,
is why,
ma'am,
sir.
for taking
Yes.
the pain and
Welcome.
being with us, and wonderful session. And then we shall catch up tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're
Thank
right,
you.
sir. Right.
Namaskar, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay. Bye. Bye.